Hello and welcome to Black Cats Chat, the international fans podcast for Sunderland FC. My name is Lee, I'm in Bilbao, and we're back with another review show. One that we didn't want and hope for and expect is a defeat to Port fucking Vale in the FA Cup 5th round. And to go over that disastrous performance and see us get knocked out, I've got Paul in Barcelona. Paul, how are you, mate?
All right, Lee. Yeah, not bad. Cheers.
Not bad. Okay, good. And Danny, to make the podcast a bit more interesting and to cheer you up, I've done like a 3-minute YouTube crash course in Bulgarian. So, zdrasti, zdravi, and dobry večer.
You're doing extremely well.
In 3 minutes, that's pretty impressive, isn't it?
That is very good, mate. Very good.
Has he just asked you out?
Yeah.
He said, "Go and fuck yourself."
I hope not. If that's the case, you two's getting sued. But anyway, Danny, hello, good evening. How are you, mate?
I am quite tired because I was in Bulgaria for the weekend and I landed last night at Stansted Airport quite late, and I had a few hours sleep, went back to work, and then still trying to recover from the bloody performance yesterday. So yeah, I needed a glass of whiskey for that.
Yeah. Do you know, like, I don't normally drink in the week and I'm trying not to, but like yesterday pushed my limits. But anyway, listen, we'll try and break it down into sections. So Paul, we'll start with the lineup. I mean, we were kind of bare bones because we do have a lot of injuries, but the the starting 11 that was announced was probably what we expected, although you could say we might have expected Granit Xhaka to be in there, but he's recovering from an ankle injury. It's on that dodgy pitch. It probably made sense to kind of put him on the bench, but were you satisfied that we had enough in theory to get through?
Yeah, against the bottom of the League One. Yeah, it was the strongest. It was pretty much the strongest team we could put out, wasn't it? If apart from, like you say, Xhaka. So yeah, I was actually really confident. When do you learn? Like when will we ever learn? But I got into the match. I was so confident. We were so dominant against Oxford, really created chances. I thought it was going to be another one of those. It's going to be really professional. We're going to keep a clean sheet. Defense is so solid; they're not going to be able to score past us, and we'll nick one or two goals. So yeah, the team, yeah, it's pretty solid. I mean, like 09 playing fullback. I mean, he's not as good. He's not really a fullback, is he? You'd rather see him in the centre, but still, again, against like the opposition, you think is good passing from the back, it'd be fine. Then you've got like a lot of energy in Diarra and Rig, class with Lafay, and then Mayenda with like some pace and power up front. So yeah, just thinking there's going to be too much quality, too much pace in the team, and a rock solid. Thinking, well, bottom of the League One, they're not going to be able to score past us. So yeah, on paper, that's how it was supposed to go.
Yeah, I mean, Danny, that defense, Ballard Alderete is like the core of the defense, and what you'd expect. Hertrauder's a natural right back, apparently, so you'd expect him to be good. 09, I mean, bless him, he's played centre back, he's played centre midfield, he's played right back, and now he's played left back. I think we did miss even a Trey Hume at left back or Reynildo or Serkin. In that midfield, Diarra, 33 million euros he cost. Ricky's been waiting on the bench for a very long time, finally got his chance. We did miss Sadiqi's energy, that's for sure. But what were your thoughts about the lineup, and were you surprised that we didn't start Granit Xhaka?
Well, as Paul said, we put the strongest team we had. Unlike Paul and probably other fans, I was very worried about this game, and as I always say, I hate to be right. I proved myself to be right with this because I expected exactly that. I expected a failure, and unfortunately, it happened. And there's so many reasons for that, but I'm thinking about one thing. I mean, we're talking about midfield and Diarra. Diarra has been very poor recently. And there was a feeling that started creeping in me, is that we wasted our money.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I hope I'm wrong. I want to challenge him to prove me wrong. If you can hear me somehow. If not,
You'll tell me the
I'll make
National
sure
Fans Day.
I'll make sure I see him at the International Fans Day. But I really want to see more aggression from him and then more football from him. It's the same with Sadiki. Sadiki has been very poor recently against Leeds. I mean, there's so many games that since January, this is not the same Sunderland that started the season. But one thing I can't understand is how on earth you would always prefer Mayenda instead of Isidore.
Yeah.
I know I'm switching back to the strikers, but I would not understand that someone young and not experienced is given more chance than Isidore. There must be something brewing. I don't know. I'm not in the kitchen.
But do you not think Isidore's had a chance and he's blown it? He hasn't kind of shown much?
I don't think so. Look at these substitutions. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes. I mean, what the hell is that? It's the same. I don't want to mention it again. Dan Neil, he had 13 minutes in total, a chance. That is so unfair. I would never understand Regis Lebris. I would like to ask him this question. What is wrong with Isidore? Something must be wrong with him that he knows about and I don't. But for me, the performance, the midfield was not existent, not only against Port Vale, against Leeds, partially against Bournemouth. Not existent midfield, not there. They are just like lost kids in the forest. And I hope it's not in the Nottingham Forest.
Paul, he makes a good point there about Sadiki and Diarra, but do you not think that's because when they play with Xhaka, we get the best out of them? When we don't play with Xhaka, they do look a bit like lost kids because basically they are still young lads, aren't they? They're 21, 20, 22-year-old.
Yeah. When you look at that lineup, it is missing a Xhaka kind of player in the middle there. It's pretty lightweight. But I think still, before the game, you were happy with it. I think the only thing I'd say is that after about 5 minutes, you're thinking, I'm not sure about this on this pitch. It's so you can't. It wasn't a pitch for trying to play passing football, and we set up as if we were playing at home on a perfect pitch. I think, and I'm not saying this just in hindsight because we ended up losing, but at the time you're thinking, should this have been a game for trying to play two up front, like more long balls, with having a second striker to be picking up the second balls when one of them doesn't win it in the air. That was going through my mind pretty early on in the game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think as well, two up top would have made more sense, especially on the pitch. And Dan, you might want to top up your whiskey, mate, because I'm going to put this on the 2-minute highlights. So yeah, listen, you could see the pitch was quite bad. It was bobbling all over, but we did kind of decide to start off playing football, and I mean that was a chance early on. There was a shout of a penalty, Dan. I mean, did you think it was a possible chance for a penalty, or was it just hit his head and that's it?
It's one of them 50-50s that, is sometimes they're going to give it to you, sometimes not. But as you say, we started well. We had a good chance. We hit the post, unlucky, of course. But after that, it was very dull. And the pitch is no excuse. I mean, come on. The pitch should not. There's no excuses to lose a game like this. Not a single excuse. I don't care about substitutions. I don't care about suspensions. I don't care about the pitch. I don't care that we are away. I care about winning games. We failed to do it against the bottom team of League One. I mean, how bad is that? The only worst thing was that I had to go to a funeral in Bulgaria yesterday, and after that, I had to watch this. I mean, you tell me, how would you feel about that? It was atrocious. I cannot believe we played like that. I was negative about the game, but I never expected it to be that bad.
Well, I mean, people were asking me before, like, long before when the draw got made, who would you rather have, Bristol City away or Port Vale away? And I said Bristol City straight away because the pitch
all day long.
would be better and would suit us more. I mean, we saw how difficult it was for Arsenal against Mansfield, and even Chelsea against Wrexham had a struggle as well. So, I mean, Paul, at this chance, could Mayenda have done a bit better? Maybe attacked it a bit more aggressively.
I think, yeah, maybe, but like I think for the first time in this chat, we've got to give a bit of credit to Port Vale, and I thought it was an amazing stop. He somehow managed. I mean, the ball's gone past him at what, like, I don't know, chest height or below chest height, like waist height, and he somehow managed to get his head on it and just get enough on it to get onto the post. I thought it was a brilliant bit of defending by him. It's pretty much the only like amazing bit of defending they had to do. But to give them credit, like, yeah, maybe Mayenda should have done better. But I think also you got to say, like, credit to the Port Vale captain for clearing it. And at that point, you're thinking, all right, that's just because that was early on, wasn't it? After like 5 or 10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, right, unlucky, missed. That's just. But still, you know, we're going to create chances, and then we didn't really. Or at least not many clear-cut ones.
No, and very kindly, Danny, FA website have actually omitted the Luke O'Nien back pass, which happened just before their goal. So we'll talk about that first. I mean, I'm not going to dig Luke O'Nien out because he's played everywhere this season. He's played right back, centre back, left back, and centre midfield. And he's always kind of shown that every level he's played at, he can come back from setbacks. And so people were kind of like criticising him yesterday for the back pass. Listen, we know what Luke O'Nien is. I think people were saying as well that he might have been a bit off balance and he wasn't trying to play it back to the goalkeeper. He was trying to play it across field, but he got pushed a little bit. But anyway, one of the commentators was saying that he shouldn't have gone backwards. Why was he going back? He should have, like, he was on the halfway line, go forward, play a ball down the channel or play a ball down the middle. Did Kevin Ball, Newcastle, come to your head when that ball went flying towards our goal?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, that's typical Luke O'Nien, to be honest with you. I mean, he could be brilliant, and then he could be doing things like that, and then you know that sooner or later that's going to happen. And then I would like to know what's in his head when he was doing that, because like what he was trying to do. Like I'd really like to ask him again, because as you said, he's got so many options, and he decided to do that silly thing. I mean, I'm not blaming him that the goal is because of that, because there was like 2 or 3 corners that followed before they scored. But this actually gifting this to opposition like Port Vale, it's just like a Christmas present. You can't do that.
It put us under pressure, didn't it? It put us under pressure.
Yeah, of course.
I think as well, like the pass when he made it, I think it kind of got a little bobble just before he hit it, because I think that bobble kind of made him lift the ball. But Paul,
I feel like you're saying, Lee, you've got to give him. Let's give him a bit of the benefit of the doubt. If you look at the replay, he's got 2-hand push on him.
Yeah.
I reckon if it had gone in, it could have been disallowed on VAR, because it's like it wasn't like a little shoulder pressure with, like, shoulder barge. He actually, the player basically jumped towards him and pushed him with both hands, and then it might have bobbled as well. And I think O'Nien's been pretty consistent and a really, really solid player for us. But what I would say is that the celebrations after we beat Leeds just seemed a little bit over the top to me. It just seemed like, and the O'Nien, like, and I love him, I'm like his biggest fan, but it was like a bit too much of like this O'Nien, like, loving, he got man of the match, then he posted the big thing on social media about, like, it kind of felt like we'd won the cup or something, and then it was like the post-match cup celebrations and reflecting on how amazing we've done to get there. I don't know whether it was because it was the 40-point mark and they've had this 40 points in the head as a target so much, and then we got it and it felt like mission accomplished. But he didn't have it. O'Nien didn't have his best game in general, and loads of the players didn't have the best game. And I do, like, thinking back to just the post-match against Leeds, does make me wonder whether overconfidence
creeping in.
There was overconfidence, yeah. It just felt like the Leeds game felt massive. It
Mm-hmm.
felt like, especially because we were backs against the wall for like pretty much the whole match.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like a massive win, and I don't know whether the players thought, like, I don't know, like mission accomplished, job done. Now we can kind of relax. We're only playing Port Vale now at the weekend, so that'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul, thanks for mentioning that. I mean, this was a huge embarrassment. Before Port Vale, with the Leeds away, winning this game it was embarrassing. This was the first time I ever felt embarrassed when we won. And that celebration after the game was even worse because we were so bad. And I don't remember Sunderland winning game like this ever. And to celebrate like this, after a poor performance by almost everyone in the team, is hugely, hugely embarrassing and damaging for the Sunderland Football Club. I mean, what on earth what happened that night? I don't know whether this was tactics or like I don't know what happened, but this was one of the worst games of football I've seen in my life.
But I think that wasn't that as well because of injuries, Danny, maybe?
No, I would not accept that.
Mm-hmm.
I would not accept that. Other teams have got injuries. We had 11 good players on the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Why they perform like this, I've got no idea. But this time wasting and couldn't put two passes together, losing the ball every time. We lost every tackle. We've got everything wrong for this game.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, but winning it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm glad we won it. Don't get me wrong, but like
the way I see it, and I think it's kind of important context for the Port Vale game is that I think Leeds are a better team than us, and I think the injuries obviously have a big impact. But we've had an unbelievably good season, but I think we're not as good as the league table suggests, especially going forward. And like defensive against Leeds was just one of the best defensive performances I've seen, especially from the centre backs. But we just didn't offer anything going forward. We got lucky that their player just did an inexplicable like touch with his arm to give us a penalty. But going forward, we had nothing, and I think that's been kind of the case all season. Where are we on like XG? We're like pretty much the bottom of the league, aren't we, for creating chances?
Well, I mean,
very rarely create chances.
We've only scored 30 goals, Paul, this season. Like, and there's only two worst teams with low goal difference, which is Nottingham Forest and Wolves.
But I think we're creating chances were even worse than that.
Yeah, and then
well,
like defensively, 34 goals. Yeah,
that tells you something.
The context for the Port Vale game is that it's not a Premier League team. I think in terms of performances, we're not like a Premier League team who are pushing for Europe and we're capable of we're that good at scoring goals. I think we're a team that's probably not far from the relegation zone, but with an amazing defence. Or relatively amazing defence. But going forward, we're weak. And exactly, yeah, we're like really strong, resolute, good defence. So we've gone to a team League One, which we're already struggling to score goals in the Premier League. You're thinking we're going to have enough to score goals against League One. We've now played Oxford and Port Vale and not scored a single goal from open play in two matches. So I think like it's really worrying. It's really worrying in terms of like how thinking about the rest of this season and next season, especially. I suppose this season there isn't that much pressure now because we are safe. But thinking forward, especially like player recruitment over the summer, creating chances is a massive concern.
Yeah, I think there's five open play goals in 18 away games, and we couldn't score from open play against Oxford and Port Vale.
Guys, just look at the two wins against Oxford and Leeds, with two dodgy penalties, and even the penalties were not taken properly. Mm-hmm. And then against Leeds was the only goal shot on goal, and it was the penalty, and the goalkeeper almost saved it. I mean, how bad is that? I mean, from January after the Tottenham game, which we played really badly in the first half, after that we've been extremely poor. And we're lucky that we have enough points, because let me tell you something, guys. I got a lot of abuse on social media for saying these things, but they were not mathematically safe. We've got 40 points, and everybody seems to think that we're safe. We're not. It takes 4 defeats and 4 wins by one of these teams below us, and then we're in trouble. There's 9 games to go. I don't want to sound like negative, but that's the reality.
No, yeah.
We were fooling ourselves that we can challenge for Europe. No, I've been saying that. I'm sorry about being different, but this is the reality. We were too foolish to think that we're so good and we're flying high and we're gonna even challenge Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the reality now. Can't beat Port Vale, bottom of League One.
Mm-hmm.
Can't score, can't create opportunities. Our midfielders are gone, missing on the pitch, and we don't even have a decent strikers.
Yeah, Brobby. I mean, Brobby now is by far and away the lead striker, isn't he? Like Mayenda and Isidore are nowhere near that. Not looking anywhere near that level at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we're going to get onto the squad a bit later if we have time, but before that, we'll have to watch this goal by the Geordie fan, the Mag fan, bastard. So yeah, there's like 1, 2, and then there's like 3 opportunities to clear it, but we don't clear it. Poor from Elborg, Paul, could you have done a bit better there?
Yeah, I haven't actually heard many people mentioning this, but I thought you should have saved it.
Yeah.
One of I think like if he moves moves his feet sooner or jump sooner, it just feels like the kind of goal that I mean, it doesn't look right. You know, the ball doesn't go right in the corner and it doesn't go very fast. So I don't really know why he didn't save it.
He takes a stand and jump, doesn't he? He doesn't move his feet towards the ball. He takes a stand and jump, and I think that doesn't help. But it doesn't have much power.
No, but also before that, it's a microcosm of the whole match where they win the second balls. It bobbles up and they win it, and then it bobbles up and they win it again. And that happened all over the pitch for the whole match.
Mm-hmm. And then this chance here, Danny. I mean, we've got a corner. We've got Ballard on there. We've got Alderete in there, but there's Diarra challenging, or Crowder challenging the keeper. Look where Alderete's here, and Ballard's there, and the ball's going to come back in now, and no one's challenging for it. You've got Angulo who's scared as shit. So you would expect like our big defenders to get in there. And that was a good chance as well, wasn't it? I mean, the lob from Diarra, and then the shot from Talby, which was poor. But my question is here: Dan Ballard or Alderete should be challenging the keeper, trying to win this header. Not because look, there's Angulo's being held there, and their keeper runs into his own player. Where are our attackers going for that?
Well, exactly. I mean, what a terrible game. I mean, this should have been like this is a brilliant goal scoring opportunity, and look what he's doing. It's just unacceptable.
That was Gertrude, though, wasn't it? Who was the one
on the line?
The goal.
Yeah, and he could have jumped in there.
So for me, like the players I thought who came out with the most credit, or at least the least bad, was Alderete and Ballard, who I thought were actually good again. So I wouldn't really criticise them. I thought Ballard was just a bit unlucky. He managed to get his head on a couple of things. They just didn't come off on the day. But I thought he was good. But if you look at that replay, get through there. When the lob goes over the keeper and scores the goal, he could have been throwing himself at that.
I agree.
And he doesn't. He just kind of watches it, and then the keeper, and then the player heads it. What? And then even when it comes back in again, he's got a chance to kick it as well, and he does. And he just does an air shot and misses the ball completely.
Well, look,
to be honest, he was one of the most disappointing players on the pitch because he didn't really, apart from that, he didn't really give the ball away a lot, but he just didn't do much. He didn't impose himself on the game. It was like, he just felt like he was going through the motions a bit.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't. We needed someone to grab the game by the scruff of the neck, and he could have been one of the people who you think might have been able to do it, but he didn't.
Yeah, Danny, we saw the chance of Angulo there, cross from Chris Rigg, back post angle. It was a hard header to get on target and to score, but he made the keeper work at least. Here we see another chance from Dan Ballard from a corner. I think he'll be disappointed that he doesn't get this on target.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, as Paul said, Danny Ballard was always solid. He always gives 100%. I can't fault him. Um, you can put it to luck, bad luck, and everything, but it's just a poor performance everywhere on the pitch, and then even up front where we had a few chances, we failed to score, and it's just so frustrating even to talk about it. It's something that should never ever happen.
Mhm.
Honestly, I am speechless. Very, very disappointed with this. It's probably one of the worst moments.
Paul, if this had been Brian Brobby, do you reckon it'd have been 1-1?
Is this the header for Mayenda? Yeah. Yeah. Do you mean at the back post or the header?
No, it's like
Or
the header
both?
from
The header from
Mayenda. Like,
Mayenda.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
if that was Brobby, he'd probably got on target and probably nestled in the back of the net. I mean,
Yeah.
Angulo's clearly offside, so he gets it
Yeah.
off for that miss.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was one of those where you're hoping he was offside after he misses it. You hope he was offside, and he was. Mayenda was so poor, wasn't he? And that one, yeah, it was a decent chance because the cross came in with decent power on it, so he just needed to glance it into the corner. I mean, it wasn't. Don't get me wrong. It would have been a great header to score. It wasn't an easy chance, but he should have done better. On Angulo, that was a bit of a sitter, but overall, I thought he was also one of the better players. Talking about the problem going forward in the team and creating chances, that's the weakest position in the team, the wide players, the wide attacking players. And so far, I think he's looked promising. He might be good enough he might be a step up from Traore and Talbi. He hasn't shown enough yet to think he definitely is, but he's shown enough to think he might be. So I think, yeah, I'm still hopeful that he could come really good.
yeah,
Let's see.
well, Dan,
I tend to agree. I tend to agree with Paul because I like him actually. I like Angulo. He's fast. He's skillful. He just needs to adapt to the English way of playing, and I think he's a promising lad. And to be honest, what comes to mind now is that we shouldn't have let Adingra go. Adingra is a skillful player as well, but Regis Lebris seems to be liking more aggressive, like more physical approach. And then obviously he was not fitting in this plan. And that's why we let him go. But I think that turns to be a mistake now, in my opinion. And
But this is what was good about Angulo's performance against Port Vale. I mean, well, good might be an exaggeration, but still, he was getting around the pitch. He was putting his foot in a bit. He kind of seemed happy to muck in, which is also what you need when a lot of the other players didn't seem to be that interested.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But anyway, moving on to disappointment of that. We've got Brighton at home this weekend, which is a big match because the week after we have the visitors at their place. This was a positive update, wasn't it, Danny? We've got Brian Brobby, Reynildo, Mukiele, and Dennis Serkin are pushing for a return to action after recent injuries and will step up their recoveries for next week. I think a few of them might be back for Brighton and a few of them probably for the Newcastle game. Plus, we'll have Sadiki back and we'll have Trey Hume back. Traore looks like he's going to be out for a little while longer. So I think against Brighton at home, you would expect us to put in a good performance and make up for that poor loss in the FA Cup and blown chance.
Well, yeah, it's really important to see the players' reaction after the huge disappointments recently, despite the Leeds win. So I am expecting to see the players fired up. I'm expecting them to go and fight and play, because if we lose again at home, this is going to be the third consecutive defeat at home, which will be a very, very worrying sign. So this game is really crucial because we need to put up a performance and prove everybody wrong, including myself. So I'm expecting the lads to go out and fight and then get a result, because it's just unthinkable what can happen if we lose that one. The news that all these players are coming back are great, but I would like to see them performing, because recently, Regis Lebris, and even all season, he's been a bit funny with his substitutions, and he's giving players very little time at the end. I don't understand that. How can you
It was the
give like
same
a
last
player two
season, wasn't
minutes?
it? It was.
Yeah, exactly. So I would like to know what he's thinking, why he's doing that, because you know, even with Xhaka against Port Vale, like he came on in the 82nd minute. I mean, what is he gonna do in 8 minutes?
And
Like
he came on.
they're digging
He came on
the
and he
Port
played like a
Vale.
couple of bad passes. He didn't really get into the game.
Like if you wanna get into to make a difference, like give him like 20 minutes, not 8 minutes or
I,
plus the other time.
I would have put Alexic on because Alexic runs his bollocks off and he gets stuck in. So I would have said, like, listen, there's a pitch. You're probably used to that
Why
in
not?
Serbia. Do you know what I
Why
mean?
not? Exactly. I mean, I know it's too easy to say these things after the game,
Yeah.
but like I'm quite disappointed with his decisions lately. And then the game against Brighton is like coming to a crucial time. We need to get another win, bring our confidence back, and then obviously I think if we win against Brighton, we'll probably seal our survival.
hmm Paul, I think it's
So
important that we don't let the season fizzle out, right? Because we've still got 9 games left. We've got 40 points. I mean, unbelievably, like seventh place is only 4 points away. Brentford have got 44, Everton 43, and then you got Bournemouth, Fulham, and us on 40 points. So I think there is something still to play for, right? I mean, and you just hope that the players don't just think, oh, we've got 40 points. We'll put our flip flops on and we'll go and sit on the beach. We'll try and get a result against Newcastle and that's it. You'd like to see us push
Yeah.
right until the end.
I think we will. It's in a way it's a bit sad that the Premier League is so much more dominant now than say the cup competitions, and I don't know if this is going through some of the players or people in the club's heads, but you get something like millions of pounds difference for each league place. So the difference between finishing say 10th or 17th
Yeah.
is also like pretty like really important. So I think we will be going for it. My bit of my concern is that, like I was saying before, I think the performances from the whole season are not so far are nowhere near good enough to be getting like into European places. I don't think on average. My worry. So I think we would, if we want to finish say 7th, I think we need to play much better than we have, even when we've been doing pretty well this season. So I can't really see it happening, to be honest. But my kind of worry is that because we started so well and we were near towards the top of the table, that people are going to react even more negatively if we end up losing on a bit of a losing run towards the end of the season, which I think it would be a little bit unfair because we still have, again, I know we keep repeating ourselves, but going back to where we were and the recruitment we've done to manage to get to a team that's capable of getting 40 points so early, it has been amazing. Even if we finish 17th, which I think, or 15th, 16th, 17th, it would still have been an amazing job done. But just the way that the season will have played out, if that happens, I worry about like the negativity around it. Like, if we lose in home games, I wouldn't be surprised if you get people who are start like calling for let's say Labree's got to go and things like this. And that would be a massive shame if after such a successful season it ends up with a bit of a negative atmosphere around the club and the team.
But I think the team needs to start. But I think the team needs to start showing a bit more attacking prowess, don't they?
Got to, yeah, and that's the thing. Got to. Well, not playing on cabbage patches will help, but yeah, we need to, especially from those. Hopefully, we mentioned Angulo. Fingers crossed, Angulo keeps improving, and yeah, we look better going forward. And I think like Mukiele and Renildo
will make a huge difference.
They will make even Mukiele going forward. Some of the best goals we've scored this season have been Mukiele's been involved. So yeah. that'll make a big impact.
Right, Danny.
Yeah, these two are terrible miss for us, definitely.
Danny, we've got like less than a minute left, so very quickly a prediction for Brighton.
Oh my God! Don't torture me. 1-0 to the lads.
1-0 to the lads. I'm going for 1-0 as well. Paul?
I would take a draw. Put it that way. Let's say 0-0 or 1-1.
0-0 or 1-1. Right, lads. Well, thanks very much for coming on. Paul, good night. Danny, I'm going to finish with a Bulgarian goodbye. Oh, I've got two of them if you want. One is Dovijdane and Doskoro.
Absolutely perfect.
Brilliant, mate. How are the lads? Come on.
How are the lads?
Hi, the lads.